seemed like, well, guess what? We're the good guys here because we have the victim's family on our side, and we know Karen Reed. Now that they've essentially lost that, which was so clear as day yesterday, that none of the McAlberts were at that hearing, and the O'Keefe family was there and that whole group now that they've been, put themselves with the O'Keefe family has now been ruptured. Now that this FBI information has come out, and it's shaking their core now. This whole cover up at this point, as we've seen this week, is the ground beneath them is shaking like the highest magnitude earthquake, like the San Andreas fault
It's
was
over.
falling into the
Yeah.
Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Does it feel vindicating to all of us who have, stood strong? I mean, we had an onslaught. There are a lot of nasty, mean people on social media who have been attacking a lot of us and threatening us.
Yeah.
And doesn't it feel vindicating?
It absolutely does. And, I'm not going to be one to rub it in their face, but I am going to be one to celebrate. We were right all along. I am going to celebrate that. I
Exactly.
won't, I won't rub the salt in their wounds and stick it in their face as much as that might feel good. But at the same time, they, um, they've just run a campaign against against Karen Reed, against Turtle Boy, against you, me, and everyone in the comments section, everyone with the Twitter account, everyone
Even
that's
just
ever,
just average
yeah,
people too. Like,
yeah,
we may hear from Katie tonight, who Turtle Boy featured on our blog, his blog recently. Like,
excellent.
there's so many people like that. Look, John
Yep,
Como, just even some of the women of Canton.
yep.
I mean, we should talk. I mean, I have the video. I want to talk about
Yeah,
what happened last
it was
night.
amazing
Did
last
you
night.
see that? What did you think about that last night?
I,
That Canton Select Board.
I was loving it. It to me it was a tale of two moments. It was Jennifer O'Donnell and Kristen taking on Chris Albert, and that for me was one part of it. And the other part of it was when it basically erupted in utter chaos, for two reasons. One, the way they were talking about our side of the ball, and then also additionally when the Canton Select Board decided to cop out because they couldn't control the meeting and didn't like the way it was going and didn't allow our people on our side to voice their opinion afterwards. And something that really stuck out to me, and I put it right on my X page last night. I'm like, they copped out again. They shut it down. I like that guy that got up at the end and he got on the microphone and called out the select board. He's like, don't think we don't see what you're doing. That was beautiful. I was like, my fist was in the air, just like, you right on, brother. Get him, get him. I love, and this has been one of the best parts about everybody in this movement. Like, we're a family. Like I said yesterday, we're all in this together, and anytime any one of us steps up at any level, it's a great moment. And I just, last night was amazing, and it was, what's interesting is that Rita Lombardi kind of just said, you know what, I think I'll kick back tonight and let Jen take care of this tonight, and that was very notable. And Rita's been very vocal, but she took a night to just kind of maybe defer to let everybody else get the opportunity because there was lines on both sides that were like 4 or 5 people deep. But Jen O'Donnell, she is now, like, I've always had a nickname for Rita Lombardi, which is heroic Canton resident Rita Lombardi. Jennifer O'Donnell now has her own nickname that I coined last night. Badass Canton resident Jennifer O'Donnell. That's what I will be referring to her on my X page moving forward. Badass
Hmm.
resident. Yeah, she was
She
awesome.
is the badass.
Absolutely awesome.
What did you think about that guy, Paul?
Paul was, which one was Paul now? That was the guy with the blue shirt, or was that the guy that was on the right side with Jennifer O'Donnell?
He
Paul,
was on the right side.
yes, him. So he, I was cool with him months ago. So there was, Turtle Boy on his live stream last night when he played back the video you had recorded for the meeting, recognized him right away. And this guy was first seen at the select board meeting where Turtle Boy was there with all the signs, and he was near Chris Albert. And then he followed Chris Albert, and Chris shut the door, and then it went out in the parking lot. And old man Stone Cold,
Yeah.
old Stone Cold got in his face.
Eclipse. Grandpa Eclipse, they call
Grandpa
him.
Eclipse, yeah.
Peter Hennessy. Peter
Yes,
Hennessy.
him. He's like, "I'm old Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm an old
Yeah.
time badass." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sit down, man. Sit
Yeah.
down."
Sit down. You sold TV ads, dude. You're a TV advertising sale guy.
So that, after that incident happened between Grandpa Eclipse and Turtle Boy, there's an additional clip that Turtle Boy had posted. That guy, Paul McCullough, I believe his name is,
Yes.
was in the circle of people in a conversation, and he was playing it. And Turtle Boy said this numerous times. He said, he seems like a cop to me. Tracy just said he's a corrections officer. That's
He
what I
is.
heard
That's what
too.
he says. Yeah.
He was playing it in the parking lot after that select board meeting. Like he was completely neutral, like he was
Exactly.
impartial. He was just there to collect information. And I always say people that try to pretend to be neutral normally aren't. They just don't want people to know what side they're on. They just want to kind of promote themselves like that. And I kind of had my eyebrow raised at that guy. He made some decent points to Turtle Boy, but it was very passive and
Exactly.
undereducated in terms to the greater point. And when I saw him last night, we saw him in his true form, what side he was truly on, what he truly believed. And he has, as much as I hate to say it, he has the right to his opinion just like anybody else. But he was very forthcoming about his side now, just like I kind of suspected going back many months ago. And just, looking at Jen, don't ever say bad things about my family ever. It's just, I don't know what she said or didn't say, but that guy was no better with the way he was kind of looking at her last night and reading to her and all that stuff. So he, and
It
I
was
just,
strange. It was bizarro. Like he was
yeah.
looking at her. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. It just seemed really bizarro. And then when he went to like move forward to the other woman, it like
Mm,
you don't step. It looked like he was stepping, like physically trying to intimidate them. And
yeah,
a lot of times his behavior, as what I've seen, is intimidating. Like he stands behind them and he looks like he's angry. Like
yeah,
it's like the way he stares at them.
right.
It's inappropriate.
I've never seen in the public eye, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm not as educated as I should be. I've never seen women get pushed around, or men try to push around. Maybe rephrase that. Men try to push around women like this.
Yeah.
There's a parent journalist out there that has been stalking Olivia Lambo and Jess Machado all over X.
Grant Smith Ellis. I'll
That
say his
must be
name.
him. Oh, there we
He
go.
he
Say it.
he has a history of this.
Yes.
He does. He has a history.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we know why.
Yeah. Going after them, and the other guy there, Mr. Fails, he does it too. He goes after women all the time. They're pushing around women, and it's ridiculous. And I can't imagine carrying myself like that, like they do, and it's just ridiculous. What I've seen out there and the behavior, and it's just absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And it's nothing but stalking. It's borderline stalking coming from.
Why is it always women too? Like I all my beef is always with men. I don't I like especially the leaning in like I think Turtle Boy said it best like tough guy like he's acting
Yeah,
like a tough guy like
yeah,
Paul acting like a tough guy. So
yeah.
Paul, you're not a tough guy when you're fighting women. Like you're
Even
not a tough guy. And
Chicken Parm Charlie last night. You
yeah.
ought to be embarrassed. You ought
Yeah.
to be embarrassed to
I mean,
Jennifer
what a
O'Donnell.
what a
Yeah,
bozo. What a
yeah.
bozo Chris Albert is.
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
you've been delinquent with your taxes in public. You've harassed tons of people like myself, with your threats with through third parties. You never have the balls to do it uh in person or with a letter to me. You just did it with through anonymous trolls on Twitter
right.
and other jackasses that back you that we know who they are. And
Yeah,
that's the type of shit you've been doing to people. We believe you sent letters to the citizens, the women of
right.
Canton. Uh, you know, it just so much of the stuff with this guy. Like Jen even called him out on. Here he used that woman to shield himself from, to set Turtle Boy up
Yeah,
and
that's
with a
right.
big smile on his face.
She pulled his punk card last night. She absolutely pulled his punk
He's
card,
a
and she hit
punk.
it.
That's
Oh
exactly
yeah,
it. He
yeah,
is a punk. Chris
yeah,
Albert, you're a punk.
yeah.
And I like what Sean McDonough said too. He's the what was it? The underachiever. He's the underachiever of the Albert clan.
The second best brother.
He
Yeah,
certainly is.
yeah. He might even be the third most successful because I believe the other one's a cop as well. So, oh, yeah, it's just ridiculous. That man has been so passively aggressive for so long. He'll
And
turn
done
around and call the
nothing.
cops.
And
Yeah,
done nothing on the select board.
yeah. Oh, he
Like
just
that's the
sits there.
bottom line for me. What have you done for public service on that select board this year, Chris? But say vote yes,
Yeah,
5-0. That's all you do. You
right.
don't speak. The only time you speak is to say
Right.
something inappropriate and ridiculous, which you
Correct.
did like 3 meetings ago. You finally
Correct.
friggin' spoke it. It was ridiculous, like it
Right.
always is. Or you say nothing. You sit there and play with your coffee. You contribute nothing, and then you friggin' yell at
Yeah.
someone who spanked your ass and say they're embarrassing. No, you're embarrassing. You've been embarrassing for months. You should have resigned from the select board,
Yeah.
but you guys are so friggin' weak with your fake tough guy shit.
Oh yeah. Not impressed. And you know, again, the only most he said on that select board was last night when he was rebuttaling to Jennifer O'Donnell about being embarrassing. I'm like, is that? I actually thought it was John Connolly at first. It wasn't until like a second or third watch where I said to myself, and then I saw confirmation coming out online. It was actually Chris. I thought, I'm like, is John Connolly? Why was John Connolly stepping up on his behalf for? And finally, I came to the fact that it was Chris stepping up there and trying to shoot down. But I love when Jen said, "Embarrassed, embarrassed," and she kept saying that back to him. And earlier when she said, "Yeah, keep smiling, Chris, keep smiling," that was a
Keep
great moment.
smiling.
Yeah.
Now,
And
I want to know because we're talking about Jennifer O'Donnell right now. We just put up her. She's got a campaign for a school committee. You can donate to her campaign. We have it up on the screen if you want to look for it. She's got a way you can donate to that school committee campaign. We're also gonna, I think, put Rita's campaign up too. But they both have that donor box, donorbox.org. Just look them up, Jennifer O'Donnell. You'll find it.